Do you like my new wall mural? I painted it myself and put the hummingbirds on. I've been doing lots of cleaning my new apartment. The reason it looks so much like shit, um, you can call me a slob, you can call me a pig, whatever, but I just moved into my apartment. And that's why I'm still fixing it up, and I'm going to clean it up to look really nice, and I'm going to add really cool stuff like real life hermit crabs and giant kangaroo and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. But I, Lilith, have some stuff to tell you, some updates on some changes in my life, may I say, from what I was saying before. So first of all, me being an aspiring police officer. So one day I was in the library studying animals, as I do a couple times a week. But I wanted to go home with my friend. I wanted my friend Cassidy to drop me off home because I was anxious, and I was like, I'm never gonna be a police officer. And she told my mom and dad, and then I talked to Dad, and he's like, well, keep in mind, my parents are very supportive of whatever I want to do in life. They're the best parents ever. I'm a spoiled brat. I'm a real nightmare to them, but I could never ask for better parents. So they'd support me in whatever career path I wanted in life. So I wanted to be a police officer, but they're also very honest. They don't lie. So Dad was like, well, you know, they could say no because I have a long history of going into stores with no shoes on and stealing food and drinks. Not alcohol, but drinks like milkshakes, ice cream, stuff like that. And yeah, and one time the cops caught me walking on train tracks. Now I know that sounds like I was suicidal, but I was not. I didn't notice I was walking on train tracks because I was so scared of all the rushing cars in the street. I thought I was being safe because I rarely go outside by myself, so I get really nervous when I do. So Dad said, let's be real with you. Even if you do your push-ups and your physical tests and pass a police exam, they still might say no. So don't be shocked if they say no. And I'm like, well, I was always taught from shows and everything, never give up on your dreams. And Dad's like, well, that's groovy and everything, but some things you gotta give up on if it makes sense. And I always said that, I miss my boyfriend when I'm in the office for 6 hours, 2 days a week. So being a cop, I'd be on duty 40 hours a week and crying brokenhearted. So that's why I always told him, you know what, I don't want to be a cop. So you know what? I will always be a civilian. And I'm cool with that. I actually don't want to be a police officer anymore. Police officers are groovy. Police officers are awesome because they keep everybody safe, but not a good fit, not the right job for me. I would make a much better butcher. So I bought this book. Let me show it to you. What is it? Man, I can't find it. Found it. here it is. So it's butchering animals. I'm not going to show you the pictures because a lot of people are squeamish about seeing dead, chopped up animals, which I do not understand. Since I was a little kid, I used to joke about meat being farm animals when me and my family were eating meat, and my dad told me it was upsetting to people and I didn't get it. And I'm like, how could you eat meat and be upset about the concept of slaughtering and butchering farm animals? But I found out that's the majority of humans. Like, what the fuck? That's bizarre. Like, if I'm eating fruit and you talk about it growing on a tree, I see it the same way. It's where food comes from, babe. So, yeah. And also, I meant a little big shocker. Okay. Remember before I was kissing Constable Fitzpatrick day in and day out and singing him love songs? You know how before that I was calling myself Mrs. Ned Kelly and saying I was married to Ned Kelly and signing things Lilith Kelly and sleeping with Ned Kelly and spend day in and day out with Ned Kelly? While I was Ned Kelly's wife, I cheated on Ned Kelly by being with Constable Fitzpatrick. Burn me by the stake. I'm an adulterer. Boo on me. But anyway, I was very upset. So me and Fitzpatrick are still and always will be friends. So Fitzpatrick moved into this new place that was like a tree house, and he's gonna visit on Pascha, which is the Orthodox Christian Easter, and Christmas. Maybe a little more frequently, maybe not, but definitely Pascha and Christmas. And yeah, but I feel rotten about being an adulterer and cheating on Ned Kelly because, I mean, the thing with Constable Fitzpatrick is I tried to research him, I looked for books on him and this and that, couldn't find much of anything. And how could I marry a historical figure I don't even know much about? No, babe. But Ned Kelly, I swear I know him better than I know my own siblings. So, and also, I was baptized at age 27 in May. And my patron saint is Saint Mary of Egypt. Let me show you something cool. This is my canon of prayers to Saint Mary of Egypt, a former harlot that took a vow of chastity and repented from her sins. Now, I don't want to be an asexual chase. That's just not me. But I know you're not supposed to have sex unless you're married, and one of the 10 Commandments is do not commit adultery, which I did. Shame on me. Shame on me. So, yeah. So, I stopped sleeping with Fitzpatrick because I was clearly cheating on Ned. And also, but I did it out of being mad at Ned, but I was mad at Ned for no good reason. Because the lie about Constable Fitzpatrick molesting Ned's sister Kate, I used to think Ned told that lie about him. But no, Kate told the lie. It's still a lie, but Kate's the liar here. And when Ned shot Alexander, he mistook him for somebody else. Ned and Alexander were friends. Ned Kelly and Alexander Fitzpatrick were friends. So, yeah. I had no reason to be mad at Ned Kelly whatsoever. So last night I had a nightmare about Judge Barry, the judge who sentenced Ned Kelly to death. And I was like, oh, Judge Barry's horrible. So that was my subconscious telling me, remember why you hate this guy, Judge Barry? To remind me of how much I love Ned Kelly. You know, I wish my subconscious would give me a nice dream about Ned Kelly. That would have been more straightforward and more pleasant. But subconscious acts in mysterious ways, though, baby girl. Yeah. Now, I'm not really sure if I want to be a butcher. I do love animals, but I might just be a zoologist and study animals and have a zoo like Steve and Terry Irwin. I might just do that. But I'm definitely going to go back to feeding the hungry. That's my New Year's resolution for 2026. The thing with Ned Kelly is he says, it's fine to be rich as long as you feed the poor, which you can't disagree on that, babe, unless you're an asshole. Yeah. So, I am Mrs. Ned Kelly. I don't care that it costs $200. I'm legally changing my name to Lilith Kelly. And me and Ned are having a wedding in a nice place, not a place that looks like an abandoned building. And see ya.